What is up, Sopranos fans? Kino here. I am back with another Soprano log, and today we're looking at the 8th episode of the 4th season, Mergers and Acquisitions. Whenever I hear mergers and acquisitions, I always think about American Psycho, probably one of the best movies ever made and one of my personal favorites. I might even do a review of that movie someday. Let me know if that's something you guys would be interested in. But in this episode, Furio's father is dying of cancer. Furio goes back to Italy for his father's funeral, and while he's there, he talks to his uncle and explains to him that he's in love with the boss's wife, Carmela. The uncle tells him to, never act on this. Tony will have him killed if he ever learns about this, and that the only way they could ever be together is if Furio kills Tony. And when he says this, he's saying it like it can never happen. It's unrealistic. But you can see Furio thinking about maybe he will kill Tony to be with Carmela. That's how much he's in love with her. So we'll see how that plays out in future episodes. But back in the States, Tony is having new shoes put on Pyomai. Again, he's pretty much taken over control of the horse from Ralphie. Ralph brings his new girlfriend, Valentina. She's an art dealer, and we can see that she's instantly attracted to Tony. He's a much more masculine guy than Ralph is. And she does this funny thing where she tricks Ralph into stepping on horse shit, very much intentionally, in order to get him to leave so that she can talk to Tony alone. And she gives him her card and says that if he ever wants to buy some art, he can call her. But we can see that this is a pretense for her hooking up with him. Meanwhile, Carmela wants to be more involved with the money like she always does. Tony has signed some, living trusts and things like that. But she still, feels excluded from the money situation. Even cousin Brian, who is now Tony's friend, has begun hiding things from her, because Tony wants it that way. Meanwhile, Paulie moves his mother into Green Grove. It's a very expensive nursing home, and his mother, Nucci, actually has some friends there, Cookie and Minnie Matrone. Now, these old ladies tell Paulie that the mother cannot hang out with them because they have a closed group, a very tight group, and they are not opening the books, so to speak, to any new members right now. It's funny that this nursing home is a lot like high school with its, cliques and things like that. Meanwhile, Tony calls Valentina and arranges to buy a painting of him and Pyomai. After they strike the deal, Valentina and him hook up. And she, is really into Tony. She wants to continue to see him. But he refuses because, she's dating Ralph. And more so than just honor, he's just grossed out by the idea of sleeping with a woman that Ralph has also slept with. That's how much he's disgusted by Ralph. Paulie goes to talk with Cookie's son, Chucky. He's the principal of a high school. And Paulie asks him to talk to his mother about including his mother with the group. When they continue to ignore her, however, he sends Benny and little Paulie to go, break this guy's arm as a warning to convince his mother to let Nucci into the group. Eventually, Chucky and his wife, sit down with Cookie and tell her that, if she does not let Nucci into the group, they're going to move her into a less nice retirement community. So she agrees, and, Nucci's going to be a part of that group. Meanwhile, Valentina continues to call Tony, and she explains to Tony that Ralph is not into normal sex. He's into this weird fetish stuff, and that he doesn't actually, penetrate her. Instead, he does weird things like have her drip candle wax onto his balls and, grate him with a cheese grater and other, sadomasochistic things. Tony talks with Janice and confirms that, Ralph can't get hard through normal sex. He can only get hard through, being abused. And this means that he's never, penetrated Valentina. This makes Tony comfortable with sleeping with her, so they end up starting a relationship, and now she's his new Guma. After they hook up, though, Carmela discovers one of Valentina's fake nails in Tony's pocket. This really infuriates her to know that he's, again, cheating with another woman, and she stews on it for a while and decides that, her revenge is going to be she steals some money from Tony. So she breaks into the bird feeder outside where Tony stashed some money and steals $40,000 of it, which she then invests into different stock portfolios and bonds and other things like that. So this is how she feels good about herself, is taking some money. She also leaves the nail visible where Tony can see it. So Tony knows that Carmela knows that he's sleeping with another woman. And when he discovers the money missing from the bird feeder, he's able to connect the dots and realize that Carmela stole the money. But he can't confront her about it because, she knows about the affair. So at the end of the episode, they're both there being angry at each other, but not being able to discuss it. It really is a toxic relationship, but, it's one that they found a way to make it work through financial discretion. So that is the episode Mergers and Acquisitions. Thank you guys so much for watching, and stay tuned for the next Soprano vlog coming soon. This is going to be a good one. Thank you to all my patrons for providing the funds for my wife to steal from the bird feeder. Hunter, Tommy Smith, Abdallah Alamari, George Jones, Russell, Sean, Graham, Rooftop, Rico Bellick, Heart of Markness, Broccoli, Isaiah, Placenta One, Logan, and Clean.